Yo, what is up, guys? It's Noise. Today I'm going to be showing you how to mix Memphis x Texas style vocals.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop.
Now, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to cut out all the breaths. You want to make sure that everything is on time. You want to make sure the ad-libs are on time. If you're going to add any chops, you should add them now. Well, this is at least my preferred method of doing things, just because it's a little bit easier for me to, like, you know, run through everything. I also always recommend people have like an organized setup, like the way that I have it right here, how, you know, I have all the lead vocals up here in the green and I got all the ad-libs down here in the gray, and that just kind of helps, like, you know, keep everything separated and just easier to look at. And it'll just really help your workflow out a lot if you do this, just because that was one thing that really helped me whenever I was starting to do this. It was just organizing everything and keeping it clean, you feel me? So once you're done with that, the first thing you're going to want to do on your vocals, well, as you can see, I already got something going on right here, so I'm going to go step by step, like what all these things do to the vocals. Right now I'm going to play you the song without no effects, and then we're going to slowly run through all of them and, you know, check out what each one of these little plugins does.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Niggas got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. No, got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me. No, put your shit up, I'll do me a robbery.
So I also want to point out that this song was recorded with some sort of compression going in. I believe I had it to an 1176 and then the LA2A, and then I believe I also had a Neve preamp from UAD. So there's already some sort of processing in the vocals the way you're hearing them right now, but this just kind of helps you get a little bit closer to the end result without having to do too much work. So that's also something that I'd experiment with a lot, and that would be like, you know, recording with compression and EQ. Well, really EQ not that much, because I feel like that I definitely leave it for something to do after, because I want to be able to have as much control as I can over like the sculpture. I like to have as much control as I can over like the sculpt and the sound, so I definitely like to do the EQ after. All right, so the first thing I have in this vocal chain is a Wave CLA 76. Now I already know I did some compression on the way in, like I had mentioned before, but in this case we're trying to get that gritty, really in your face kind of sound. So for that purpose I'm using the CLA 76, and I'm just slamming the fuck out the vocals with it, just to get that really like up front in your face kind of feeling that a lot of these Memphis x Texas rappers be having in their voice. So I'm gonna play the vocals without the CLA 76 and the CLA 76 active, just so you can hear the difference.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Niggas got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. No, got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me. No, put your shit up, I'll do me a robbery.
Alright, so as you can see, that definitely brought up the vocals like a lot, and it made them pop out a lot more. You could really like understand what he's saying, like you could hear every detail and every little word or whatever. For that effect, really what I did was I just had a medium attack and a fast release, because that fast release is was gonna make it, you know, pop out and come to the front, and that attack is just letting all them transients come in and just like, you know, it's letting them like breathe almost type shit. So yeah, and then like I said, I was slamming the fuck out of it. The next plugin I have right here is a Pro Q3, and I didn't really do much with this one. This one, all I did was like some low end cuts, then the boost in the mids, like for that mid clarity, and then some in the high end, like the super high end, just to kind of give it like a little bit of air, I guess you could say. And I did some gain staging right here on the output, just because I took off a lot of that low end right here, like -4 decibels. So I was just kind of bringing the vocal back up, and so this is what it sounds like with and without it.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Niggas got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. No, got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me. No, put your shit up, I'll do me a robbery.
But yeah, that's what that one sounds like. And really with this one, I'm kind of getting like this kind of like almost kind of like boxed in tone from the vocals, and I've noticed that with like a lot of like Memphis Texas rappers, they usually have like that kind of like boxy sound in their vocals, but it still sounds like really crisp and not muffled. That was something that I achieved by, you know, cutting off a lot of the low end, because really I'm going really deep. I'm going like almost like to 300. I'm in 250 something. And the next plugin that I have in this chain is the Waves de-esser. This one's pretty self-explanatory. If you mix vocals, all this does is like turn down the harshness and the S's and the really any like sibilant sounds, like anything that's like sharp is gonna like tame it. This is what it sounds like with it on.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Nigga got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. Got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me. Put your shit up, I'll do me a robbery.
Now you might be hearing it and thinking like, damn, he's like overdoing it. But so here in this next plugin, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring back all the highs with saturation, and that's gonna be with Saturn 2. So right here, all I'm really doing is just adding saturation to the high end. Everything that's above 8074 is getting boosted the fuck up by like 7 decibels, and I'm saturating it. That way we can get that crispiness back in the vocals. And this is what it sounds like with it on and off.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Nigga got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. Got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me. Put your shit up, I'll do me a robbery.
So yeah, with that being on, now you can really kind of start hearing like how that crispy like grit is coming to the vocal that these vocals are usually known for. But yeah, that's really all that this one's doing. This one's just kind of bringing the crispiness back in, like reintroducing it into the vocal. And the next one that I have is another compressor, and this is the R compressor. And this one I'm kind of doing like compression. Sometimes this compressor I'll push it a little bit because it also kind of gives me that in your face punchy kind of feel. I don't want to say I think I left it with a default, but I just tweaked it around just a tad bit. And I just had a really quick attack and then a slower release. This one's kind of more for like making sure that everything's cohesive, if that makes sense. And yeah, this is with it on and with it off.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Nigga got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. Got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me. Put your shit up, I'll do me a robbery.
And now with this one, you could really hear how everything is kind of coming back up, especially after having saturated them high end frequencies. You can really start hearing the grit in the voice, and then you can start hearing how every word's like really like punching the fuck out of the beat, you feel me? So this one definitely does some heavy work on this. And recently I switched it up with a different compressor. I believe it's the Kramer something compressor. I got it somewhere in here, but I don't use this one as much anymore, but I still use this one occasionally. The next plugin in the chain is Vitamin Stereo. And this one is again saturating the high end just because sometimes they tend to have really crispy vocals. Matter of fact, if y'all from Texas, y'all know who CJ Casino is. And I got the pleasure of working with some of his people and him in the studio. Their engineer gave me the template that CJ Casino used, and I seen that he used the Vitamin Stereo, and they go absolutely crazy with this. Like, they be turning that shit the fuck up, and it gives it a nice sound, to be real. It just depends. You kind of don't want to overdo it, because if you overdo it, then it's definitely gonna harshen up your vocals in like in a bad way. But this is what it sounds like with it on and off.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Nigga got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. Got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me. Put your shit up, I'll do me a robbery.
Yeah, so as you can hear, that one really added a lot of high end, and it just really made it really crispy. Now the last plugin I have is another Pro Q3, and I don't even know what the fuck this was. I don't even think I could hear this. It's 42,000. Like it's some minimal ass shit, I guess. I don't even know why I did it, but I guess it worked. And
yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the beat like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Nigga got motion like oceans, I'm not a.
That's done. Now let's move on to the beat. Now on the beat, I don't really have a lot because this is a YouTube beat. YouTube beats tend to be like over limited, really loud and shit. So really all I ever really do on these YouTube beats is I'll remove a lot of low end. I think in this specific case I wasn't doing it to turn up like the actual bass. I was really doing it to get a little emphasis on the sample in the background. Yeah, this is what it sounds like with it on.
Yup, let's go. Niggas that hate why cause niggas can't walk with me. Drago is black in the bit like a coffee bean. It ain't money, just stop it, don't talk to me. Nigga got motion like oceans, I'm not a sea. Got the pink and the blue like Monopoly. No, I can't see not a nigga that's stopping me.
Now, you might say that it sounds good without the EQ, but really, in reality, there's too much bass. And really, I'm getting that bass back whenever I'm mastering. So I'm not even like worried about, you know, taking away bass, especially from a YouTube beat, when in reality, they do have like, you know, a lot of bass. So that's how I kept that. I also have like a Fruity Love filter doing like this this effect at the end.
Do me a robbery, nigga. On God, the biggest. Let's go.
So yeah, I just have that automating towards the end. This preset is I believe it's the simple triangle low pass filter, and I'll throw that on here and there on like some beats and stuff, and it really adds like some build up to the beat, you feel me? Ad libs, it's really the exact same vocal chain. I think the only difference is that I don't got that last EQ, and this EQ is like I don't even know what the fuck this is. It was supposed to be like a phone, and I just modified it. Last two things is the effects on this, and that was just delay and reverb. These are pretty self-explanatory. I just have this H delay 1/4, and then it's synced to the beat. So, you know, also another thing is always find the tempo for your beats when you're doing this, because it is so much easier. You just hit host and then you just put 1/4, 1/8, whatever the fuck you want, and it's easy like that. Next thing is Valhalla Vintage Verb. And then this one, I'm using it just as a little kind of like haul, just, you know, just to add some dimension to the vocals, because these vocals generally don't have a lot of reverb and they don't have a lot of effects. Like, it's really subtle. I think in this one, I might have pushed it a little bit just so you can really have that space feel. This is what it sounds like with it on.
Money in post, never show it. These niggas be faking, ain't got them no motion. Tryna diss on a nigga, that shit wasn't working. Now look at him now, nigga stuck and he hurting. You run up on me, watch his gun, I'ma twerk it. Ask him niggas, almost got him hearse. I can't give it up, knowing D got a purpose. I got trees in my trap like a merchant. He said he want beef on the shirt, we gon' merch him. Drinking my cup when I'm sipping on purple. Nigga, I jumped in the trap like a hurdle. Nigga, your motion is slow like a turtle. Burn his out like a square on my circle. Little nigga, let's go.
But yeah, you get the idea. It really adds some to it, you feel me? Like, I feel like sometimes the vocals be a little too dry, but then again, sometimes, you know, that's what they're going for. But as far as mixing wise, this has pretty much been it. Like, it wasn't really like something that I like took too much time on, because it was just kind of a straightforward like type of song. Like, it was just straight bars and rapping and no auto-tune, no none of that. So it was pretty straightforward. I'm definitely going to have specific videos for certain topics eventually. For right now, I'm just kind of doing like some real quick running through like my projects and shit, because I do have a lot of stuff, and a lot of the times it's really hard for me to like focus and make these videos, sit here and talk. It's really hard. It's harder than it really seems. But yeah, again, I appreciate everybody that watched the video. Like and subscribe, and until next time.